Hey, it's Miller from Black Rheno, and we're here to chat about our new tour and a new single which is about to come out. We're premiering it with Heavy, which is called Chopping Heads Wearing Fancy Threads, and it is a I've been calling it a sludge fury banger.
Sludge Fury banger. That sounds about right to me, Ryan. Thanks for joining us, brother.
Thanks for having us, Crispy.
My pleasure. So, as you say, Black Rheno premiere your new song Chopping Heads Wearing Fancy Threads on Monday, February the 17th at midday Southern Time via Heavy. So, how you feeling, mate?
Yeah, good man. We've just been really busy and just getting busier and loving it essentially. We We've got an album we recorded over in the States about a year ago, which we're sort of sitting on at the moment because we're just waiting for the right time to release it. And and we just wanted to keep putting out music in the meantime and just building the band and just playing shows and giving ourselves excuses to go and do stuff. And I've got a studio, so we do a bunch of recording ourselves. And this single and the next couple and the last one we put out are all self-produced by us. And yeah, we're just getting out playing shows, doing what we love, just fucking, yeah, cranking it up. We got more tours booked for later in the year. I've pretty much got us booked up with shows till November. So this
Fantastic.
year's going to be busy.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I got to say before we go any further, mate, like, where do you come up with the song titles? Like, Chopping Heads Wearing Fancy Threads. What the fuck and where the fuck?
Well, as everybody knows, we are the best fucking dressed people in town. And people also know that when we come to other people's towns, we tend to chop their heads off. It's common knowledge. So it just makes sense to name the tour that and a song that. Nah, man, I'm just taking the piss. And that's what the song is. The song's just taking the piss essentially. Like it's a fun one. This isn't, this we're not getting deep and emotional in this song. It's just like straight up cocky, fucking, hey, this is who we are. This is what we're doing. And we're gonna come to your town and we're gonna rip it up. But it's also tongue in cheek. It's like we're gonna come to the town, we're gonna go play shows, we're gonna come to your town, we're gonna rip it up on stage, we're gonna have a night. But we're also, if you look into the lyrics of the song, if you can understand what's being said, I'm yelling a lot. Um, but like, it's like, are we coming to play a show or are we coming to kidnap and torture you and murder you with a DS1 distortion pedal? We're chopping heads wearing fancy threads. We're wearing our finest clothes and we're fucking coming out of fucking, give you one. So yeah, it's a bit of fun, man. There's some pretty funny sort of lyrics in this one, like I kind of ripped a bit of Elvis off where he kind of does that shake, rattle, and roll, shake, rattle, and roll. I said shake, rattle, and I've sort of reworded it in the bridge and gone shank, grab them and go because we're coming in there. We're going to shank people. We're going to grab them. We're going to go. We're going to throw them in the van, and you're never escaping. It's just us having some fun. Not every song's got to be angry and emotional and whatnot. And we've got those songs too. Don't worry, I can get emotional, but this one's fun.
On that subject, mate, like a lot of Black Rhino's music is tongue in cheek and based around fun, but how are you finding it in the modern society where people take offense if you don't spell their name properly? Like, do you find you have to sort of censor yourself a bit or censor your ideas a bit?
I don't think so. I don't think we have to censor anything we do because we are just having fun. I mean, no, look, a lot of our stuff's serious, man. There's fucking heaps of serious lyrics, and probably most of the songs really have a serious point. But we do make sure that I don't know, but every now and again, it's just good to have some fun as well. But I don't think we're like self censoring or anything like that. Like I don't have any like massive social political fucking topics that I personally need to get on a rant on. It's not really my thing, although we have in some things. I mean, that song no Time for Numbnuts, that basically is an anti-discrimination song saying like, like just sticking up for everybody basically. It's um but no, yeah, to answer that question, no, I don't think we self-censor. I think we just have fun. Like, yeah,
And
I don't know. I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know. I don't think about it too much, to be honest, man.
Or don't start now just because I mentioned it. Now, you've described the song earlier as a sludge banger, but there's so much more going on than that. Like, how would you describe the song musically, mate? Like, it just comes at you like a bat out of hell and just doesn't let go.
Yeah, it's got the like it's not a sludge song for sure, but it's got sludgy tones and things like that, which is sort of a bit of our thing. We've always got that sort of Nano's got that guitar tone, and we've sort of rockified ourselves a bit more over the years as well, but it's always there. And but it's more of a like hardcorey punk, like it's sludge punk. I wouldn't call it sludge. It's like a sludgy punk sort of thing, you know. Um, and yeah, it's just one to get the energy going, man. It's like full circle pit sort of stuff, you know. Like it's just high energy, like let's fucking rip in kind of a tune, really. Just yeah, energy. It's built to play live, that's for sure. It's definitely that kind of tune.
Now, Black Rheno are one of those bands like you've got your own sound in that someone hears a Black Rheno song and you know that it's you guys, which I think is a great thing. But is that something that you're conscious of when writing music, or is it sort of just come more naturally?
I don't think so. It's not. I don't think we sort of went, "Hey, this is." And thank you for that because that's quite a compliment. And if that's the case, then it's not. It's. I mean, like I don't know. It's just your personality is your personality, and I think because with our guitar styles, like we've just got one guitarist. He plays through an octave pedal into a bass rig, so there's that, and there's other people that do that as well, and just like fucking Astro Death do that. And when I hear an Astro song, man, I know it's an Astro song. So, but that I don't think that comes down to our setup. I think that comes down to just yeah, a band that has some personality, I guess. Hopefully we've got some, and they're a band that definitely does. And um, yeah, I think, yeah, I don't know, man. We just write what we feel like. Like sometimes we're writing fucking really heavy, aggressive shit, and sometimes we're writing really rocky stuff. I mean, it's all within that sludgy realm, that sludgy tone, the stonery, sludgy, groovy. It's always trying to find the groove, always trying to slip in some groove. Um, but it's always in that sort of realm. And I mean, yeah, just I guess I don't know, man. If we have a sound that sounds like us, then fucking awesome.
Now, Chopping Heads Wearing Fancy Threads follows your first single in a couple of years, which came out late last year called Snake Will Rattle. And you've mentioned before that you've got an album's worth of material waiting to go. So are those songs taken from that, or are they just
No, they're completely new.
audio?
Um, so we want to we went over to the States and recorded with Machine, the producer. He's done two Lamb of God records, 4 Clutch records, Every Time I Die, like the list goes on, fucking Suicide Silence, all sorts of he's like one of those, like he's produced as a music producer myself, he's one of those people that I look up to and we all look up to for his work and history and stuff. And so we went on this crazy adventure over there to record with him and do an album and get someone else to do it. Because I've recorded everything that we've done, everything we've released has been recorded at my studio. Just to mix it up and do something different, just to get a different opinion more than anything on what we're doing, an outside set of ears and opinions. And we want to make sure when that time comes to release that we can execute it not just in terms of putting out like cool clips and stuff, but we want to do some pretty special stuff around it, and that's what we're trying to organize. And we've also got to give ourselves time that we've got to be realistic. We're an independent Australian band playing sludge metal. We don't earn like fucking massive amounts of money. We're all chipping in, and we've got to sort of just essentially make sure that we can do that at a time where we can put everything in the right order, in the right place, that we can give it the right attention that it deserves. So we're going to hold that off until I would say next year, and then we're just going to and we're we are lucky that we're in a position where we can write, record, mix, and master everything ourselves. We've got a great studio, we've got a great space for it. So instead of sort of waiting or rushing to get something out, which is something, I'm sure we've all, especially you and I both work in the music industry, have seen bands that have like so frothing and excited about the new thing that they've done, and they just
Rushed out with no
get
plan.
it. They just want to get it out, and they don't really give themselves time. Yeah, they don't give themselves enough time to execute executed as well as they've executed writing those songs. Like it's like, wow, you just spent 4 years writing these songs, and then you just went, oh, it's done. Let's put it out, and then it's out, and then it's done. Whereas, what we end up doing for the release of the album when that comes out is yet to be determined. But we're trying to do some cool shit, so we'll wait off until we've got a good plan around it, and then this year we'll just keep putting out music. We're gonna be doing another tour in the middle of the year. Different places. Everywhere we're touring is going to be different places, and just, man, there's some cool stuff. There's just some cool things lined up. There's a really cool festival coming up later in the year, which I'm not sure I'm allowed to announce yet, but it's close to where you live, my friend.
Oh,
And
I know exactly which one you're talking about.
yeah, you know what I'm talking about. And then we're getting over to Perth. So we're heading to Perth for the first time since before COVID, for the Spliffs and Riffs Festival, which has got like Greenleaf from Sweden headlining it. There's Khan, there's Smoke Witch, there's a bunch of really cool bands playing. Yeah, we're just lucky, man. We're just gonna keep booking shows, and we've got heaps of gigs booked in, and we're just gonna keep doing it basically, and putting out new music and just keeping the wheels turning. And then in the new year, just planning ahead, man. Planning for a brighter future for tomorrow, my friend.
It's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
Oh, it's wonderful. It is. Look, it's mad fun.
The Spliffs and Riffs Festival, bro. Which is on March the 2nd. That's actually the start of a run of shows for you that also sees you visit Katoomba, Port Macquarie, Central Coast, Dubbo, and Orange, and then finishes in Sydney on April the 12th. Like, that's a short run of dates for you, but there's some pretty out of the way places you're playing there.
Yeah, it's a different run that we'd normally do, and we've sort of done that intentionally. Some regional shows, some places like Dubbo, like fucking Dubbo, like what? We've never played there before, or Orange. And we just, we wanted to go to a couple of spots that we've just never been. Like, we've all traveled around this country a lot of times now, so it's good to go to new places. And some of these places, we've had requests like, hey, when are you guys going to get out here? So we're just putting the effort in to do it. And then it's kind of a shorter run that we might normally do on a tour, but it's got some interesting spots on it. And then like Central Coast, I don't think we've played one show on the Central Coast before. So it's going to be sick. And there's some really cool bands where we're linking up with. The Katoomba show's off its head. Black Ant King. No, I can't pronounce the name. I feel really bad, boys.
Oh, you can't these days.
I'm so bad at pronouncing some metal band names. And iCast are playing. No, you know the fucking drummer from 12 Gauge Rampage?
Yeah.
Luke? What's his other band called?
Don't try and put me in the shit just because you can't remember band names.
Fucking awesome, man. I'm just so bad at
me.
Look, I'm not very sophisticated, okay? I can't spell and read good.
But I'll just say someone's listening to this that are in one of those out of the way places that hasn't really heard of Black Rheno before, but is thinking about checking you out. What 3 songs of yours should they listen to before they go to a show to get acquainted with the band?
Well, obviously, Chopping Heads Wearing Fancy Threads, because that's the new single. And then probably, a classic banger of ours is No Time for Numbnuts. That's always a crowd favorite. And then maybe Vortex is one of my favorites to play live. Obviously, there's the one we just released as well. Snake Will Rattle is a new one. But, if you go to the Spotify and hit the top most listened songs, they'll give you a pretty good idea.
Fantastic. Now, before we let you go, mate, I've got a new segment I've started called Photo Bomb. So basically, I'll troll through your social media before we chat and find a few photos that I want to ask you about. You got off pretty lightly, actually, mate. I found this one here that was taken in Nagoya. Now, what were you doing over there?
Oh, that was on the I Hate God tour back in 2019. That was the album launch tour that we did. And we did... Yeah, with I Hate God, we did Australia, Japan, New Zealand, 14 shows in 17 days across 3 countries. So for us, that was sort of probably our biggest tour we've done yet, or the most hectic one anyway. Not the biggest, but the most hectic. I don't know, it was a fucking pretty good one anyway. And that was the for the release of the album, our first album. What's it called? Noise Smasher.
It was indeed. And how did the Japanese people take you? Did they like your brand of music?
Oh man, it was fucking mental. And at the time, we were doing this thing where we were having these like funny walk-ons. So we had like, there's that dude on YouTube that plays like the intros of movies and theme songs with a recorder and misses notes and plays it really bad. I don't know if you've seen this guy. So he does this one of what's that movie about the boat that sinks, Titanic. Um, so we were doing this thing where we'd play that, and I'd walk out pretending to play it with a recorder, and everyone was sort of getting it in Oz and cracking up, but in Japan they were just like, who the fuck are these Aussies, and why are they playing the Titanic theme song like as they're like, it was just so funny. They were just so stunned, and then the countdown would start, and then it's just like bang into like a fucking crazy tune, and the room would erupt. But we got some pretty funny looks. But the shows there were nuts. Like once they realized we were just taking the piss for the intro, man, it was just like carnage, like mayhem. And then one of the nights was so funny after we played, and then I had got her up afterwards. And me and Nano were like almost a foot taller than everybody there, because
At
the
least.
Japanese, generally speaking, are a bit shorter. And me and Nano were both pretty tall people. And we just stuck out like sore thumbs, these two white guys in the mosh. And then like all these like Japanese dudes were coming up and tapping us on the shoulder and like pointing up and getting us. And then we had this like, it was like a production line of me and Nano grabbing like, these Japanese dudes and throwing them up to crowd surf in the pit. Like now, and that because they'd just seen us play. So they're like, oh, they were like, pumped. And then we're just like one at a time throwing these dudes up into the pit, man. It was just like, it's fucking mayhem. It was absolute mayhem. It was carnage.
Fuck yeah. Now I've got one more for you. And this one obviously wasn't taken in Nagoya.
Oh, dude, this was fucked. So that's at Blacken, which they've just re-announced. Everyone needs to buy a ticket to this festival because this festival's fucking special. That was at Blacken a couple of years ago, I think 2 or 3 years ago, and I've never done an ice bath before. And the day before, I had the night before, because it's a 3-day festival. That night before was my party night. We played on Friday night. I took it a little bit easy, so I didn't just blow my voice out because I was partying like an animal. And the next day, I didn't have to worry about blowing my voice, so I partied like an animal. And fuck yeah, had a crazy day, up all night, fucking munching heaps of fucking acid and shit. And then the next morning, there's this ice bath, and everyone's fucking doing ice baths. And I was like, yeah, I'll jump in there. And it was 5 minutes in the ice bath, and everyone was getting in and out fine. For some reason, I couldn't handle it. I got out, my whole body like went into convulsions, like it felt like I had lines, like a laser light going. And I must have just been going into some sort of like fucking cold ice bath shock. And I got out of the thing, and this dude that I'd been fucking tripping with the night before, who I just met the night before, was running this thing. And I got out of the ice bath, and I thought I was going to absolutely just drop. I thought I was just going to hit the ground. And I grabbed him by the shoulder. I was like, bro, fucking hold me up, man. I'm about to fucking drop. And he's like, you all right? I'm like, nah, man. Like, I'm not good. And he's like, you're all right. And there was this little fire going next to it. And he was just like patting my back, going, man, it's all cool, man. You're all cool. Just think of the good thoughts. And I was just like, fuck, bro, I think I'm about to fucking pass out, man. I think I'm about to drop. And my whole body was just like radiating, and everyone else dealt with it fine except for me. So I don't know, maybe I just had too many beers and too much good stuff the night before. And yeah, that was full on. That's so funny that I didn't realize we had that photo. And that chick, the chick next to me, fuck, I think her name was Amanda, but she was the whole weekend. She was going around in these crazy outfits. The night before, she was dressed up as an old lady with a walking stick, and she had fake makeup on to make herself look old. And she wouldn't break character. And she had these like fake breasts, and one was like up and one was down. And she was like, "Oh yeah, when I was young, I was dancing and doing this and that." And she had this whole character, and she wouldn't break character. And it was like it took me fucking ages to realize this was person putting this on, because she was acting so well. And every night she went out with a complete different character and just like committed, like did not break character once the whole night. And I was speaking to her after this fucking thing, and she was like, I was like, and I clicked. I was like, oh, that was you from last night, because I was hanging out with her. And I'm like, how do you not break character? And she's like, the hard part is to actually break character because once I get into it, it's so hard to get out of it. But yeah, that Blacken Festival is a special one. The guys out there, they put on an incredible event.
Fantastic, brother. But in the immediate future, Black Rheno will be premiering your new single, Chopping Heads Wearing Fancy Threads, at midday, February 17th via Heavy. It's a great song. It's a great clip. Tune your clocks, get your alarm set ready to go, brother, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Fuck yeah, man. Thank you so much for having us on and premiering our track and always being a fucking legend supporter of everybody out there making cool tunes. You're a fucking dynamite.